everyone, this is Jenny, and I literally had no idea that I would be making a Flosstube video this morning. My entire family is extremely into mountain biking. So I spend a lot of time, I do bike, but not the way my two sons and my husband do. So I spend a lot of time stitching while they're doing downhill or different things, and I also spend a lot of time helping them when they're injured. So my younger son, Roman, who's a freshman in high school, has a mountain biking injury and is on crutches for probably 8 weeks. And he's also a film video production student. So while he's injured, he was able to get a new camera that he had been desperately wanting. So it's snowing right now in central Pennsylvania, and he is on crutches. So he said, let's make a Flosstube video, because he knows how much I love to watch Flosstube. And my first reaction was, then I have to take a shower. And he said, you weren't going to take a shower anyway? And I said, no, I wasn't. And then my second reaction was, well, I don't have anything pulled together, or I don't have enough projects. I'm not prepared to do this. And Roman asked me, well, what would you be doing today anyway? Watching Flosstube and stitching? And I said, yes, that's exactly what I would be doing. I would be watching Michelle's weekly briefing, which is what I was doing when he brought up the idea of making a Flosstube video. So here we are. I literally just gathered things together, and there may be more rambling than actual cross stitch, but we will see. So like I said, I live in central Pennsylvania. I have two sons that are the world to me. My older son, Tristan, is almost 19, and he graduated in 2020. So that was, of course, an interesting graduation year. And he is currently doing his EMS training, and then we'll be going to Wyoming and Utah for a Knowles Outdoor Wilderness Medicine program. And my younger son, Roman, who is the one that insisted we make this video, is a freshman in high school, would really love to do filmmaking with mountain biking. And like I said, my husband and my boys spend most of their time mountain biking. So like everyone this year, things have been strange and difficult, and we also had a lot of interesting personal challenges. My son had surgery in March for a snowboarding injury, and while he was still recovering, my husband had a mountain biking accident and shattered both of his wrists and had no use of his hands for about 3 months. And now my younger son, Roman, has basically no use of his left leg. So Flosstube has kind of helped bring me that, joy and something to look forward to as I'm taking care of everyone. I had no idea what Flosstube was. Right before we went to lockdown here in Pennsylvania, I was at Michael's getting something for work, and I just felt like I should pick up this little, grab a little cross stitch kit. And I thought that's so silly because I never finished them. I'll be 42 next month. I probably started stitching when I was 8 or 10 when I learned, somewhere around there. And my younger son would always tease me that I would start all these projects and never finish them. And I remember that's what my mom would do too. She would start these, really beautiful projects, and it always bothered me that they were never finished. And now I realize that that's totally okay, and that's a thing, to just keep starting things. And I was at Michael's, and I grabbed this little cross stitch kit, and I thought, this is so stupid. I'm not going to do it, or I'm going to start it and not finish it. not knowing that literally the next day is when Pennsylvania would start their first 2-week quarantine. So I did finish that project, and I was so grateful to have something. You know, we were furloughed from work and we were all home and there was no school. And I was looking, you know, just looking for tutorials like so many people have said. And I actually found, the first video I found that led me to Flosstube was Brenda Handwork Maniac's video with her daughter about her daughter's hay project and the parking method. And then when I saw that it was titled Flosstube, I realized that, oh, there's this, you know, entire world out there. Again, like so many people have said. So then I was able to be exposed to all the new things that had happened since I was, you know, buying kits years ago. So one of the things I think that keeps me from doing a Flosstube is I feel like I don't really purchase that much or have that much going or use many like accessories or things like that. So when Roman graduates in 2024, my husband and I are planning on downsizing to a very, 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 very tiny home and moving out west to Utah with the rest of my, well, most of my family lives in Utah. So everything that we've been doing for the past few years is to try to, you know, minimize the amount of material possessions that we have and things that we need. So even with my stitching, I am trying to keep it as simple as possible. So on Instagram, you'll find me, it's Jenny_stitching_simply. And even with Instagram, I was hesitant to post because it's, I mean, I don't really feel like I have all these things going, but they all bring me so much happiness and joy. But for example, I don't really use project bags. I have a few, and I'll show you what I use instead, because like I said, I do stitch a lot in the car. A lot of times we'll go to New Jersey to Mountain Creek, and I might be like there for 8 hours while Roman's biking, so I can get a ton of stitching done in that time. But like when I stitch at home, I stitch actually at my dining room table. I stitch in hand. I don't use any, I have an Avlea, but I haven't really needed to use it. I don't use any magnification. My dining room table, my son and my husband built as a Mother's Day gift, and it always makes me happy to sit here and work on projects. So on my dining room table, I have like a little ceramic tray. I also love ceramics so much. That's on my list of things that I can't buy anymore because I just have too much already. And I have my little container for my orts, and I literally have one pair of scissors. So, you know, I mean, I really don't have that much stuff. I use a highlighter sometimes. If it's a color chart, I don't really highlight. But if it's something like a modern folk embroidery, like Sal, and it's black and white, I definitely highlight. And I have a needle minder. I have one needle minder, and it's like on the tray, and then I just throw all my needles on there, and I don't really like separate them by size or anything. And then I usually just have the DMC that I'm working with on the tray. I don't bobbinate, and I don't use floss tags or floss rings or anything like that. I find that it takes me more time to do all that prep work that I would rather just use to stitch. And then for storage, I actually had a really lovely sewing room that was just for sewing and crafts and things. And last February, we had my dad move in with us, and we moved everything from downstairs upstairs so that he could be here, and so and that was totally fine. So it kind of that helped me to kind of condense all of the sewing things that I had going on. So I just usually have my tray when I'm stitching, and when I travel with my stitching, which is pretty often, I honestly found that these eco bags that are reusable produce bags work really, really well because they're just plain fabric, and I feel like the plastic, like nothing sticks to it. This one I did just put some Liberty of London fabric scraps one that I had, but in this one, oh, I do have one floss card. It's from Brown and Brown Creations on Etsy, and that's where my one needle minder is also from. So this is an Avlea chart, who is one of my absolute favorite designers. I do love the historical Mediterranean kind of just pattern motifs in stitching. So this is, whoops, upside down. It's close to being done. I don't have a lot to do on it. This is another one where it's kind of so much fun to work on. I'm not really in a hurry to get it done. This is on a 26 count ground cloth, which is, I really enjoy. I mean, it's a larger weave, but it just has a really different texture than linen. This is great because most of these pieces would actually be used in the home, like this style of stitching. So this would be like a table covering, or would be used like historically in bed linens or curtains or things like that. And I don't typically fully finish items in like a frame, or again, because we're moving to a very, very, very tiny house, most of these things will be finished with a hem stitch, and then they can be hung or used in actual, like table coverings or things like that. So Avlea I love, and these are her kit. That was one of her kits. Like I said, I don't know where anything is because Roman decided we were doing this like 20 minutes ago, and so we're just kind of winging it here. They are called on her website bit kits, and they're perfect because they're small and they come with everything that you need. I won't take it out of the package, but it has the chart, it has the fabric, which typically is ground cloth, oftentimes comes with the needle, all the floss, and they're really beautiful, and they're super easy. I mean, I've actually put in a, like a tiny sandwich size bag and just put in my purse so I can always have it with me. So that's one thing that I'm working on. I did make one project bag, and it was from Celeste Creates tutorial that she had on her Flosstube channel, which I absolutely love. I don't know if I'll really make more bags, but it was really fun, and the tutorial was fantastic, and I just used the fabric that I had. And then, like I said, I don't know if I said this. So I went to school for metalsmithing. I have a fine art degree in metalsmithing and then art education. So I do have an Etsy store. It doesn't have anything to do with stitching, but I do have an Etsy store that I have my jewelry in. So I can put that in the description box. But that is what I do. Besides stitching and watching Flosstubes. So I do have, that is the one that I made, thanks to Celeste and her excellent tutorial. And I really just use DMC. I don't really use overdyes. Because I have a lot of jewelry supplies, I just started keeping my DMC in color number, or in number order in the, I mean, these are trays that you would use. They come with inserts that you can put like stones in, or you can use them when you do shows to travel with your pieces. It just makes me really happy to have them all like lined up in the box and I can see them. And a lot of times if I have if I need a color and I'm at the store, I'll pick it up anyway, so I still have the full set. And actually yesterday was the first time that I have ever been to Hobby Lobby. I know, it's crazy, but we were getting my son's camera and there was one in the area. We don't really have one close to us, so we stopped in and I did pick up some DMC, so that was exciting. We do have two adorable cats, Mega Man and Jordy. And we also have a very cute, tiny Chihuahua, who I'm sure will make an appearance. I can't believe she's not barking right now, or we'll insert some video. But, oh, I don't know what I did with it. But I mean, she's already chewed up one of the flosses that I got yesterday. She ran off with it. Oh, here we go. That's what, I got this yesterday. Kitty kind of, oh, Kitty is the dog's name. She's a dog, but her name's Kitty. So that, you know, we'll just try to use as much of that as possible. So I think the biggest thing right now that I'm working on, oh, I do have one other project bag. This is from Willow Hill Studio 7 on Etsy, and I really like this one. It was a different design. It's not zippered, and it's really big. So I have both of my modern folk embroidery pieces in here. And I tend to do projects that don't really have a lot of colors. So again, that's why it's fairly easy to just keep the skeins intact and just pull as I need it. So I'm doing the 2021 Sow. I have January finished. This is 36 count Antique White Zweigart. I dipped it really, really quickly in Aquamarine Rit, just to give it like a little hint of color. I am using 939 and 924, I believe. Yes, so that's done. I'm super excited for the next part to come out. Everything I show will be super wrinkly because I do stitch in hand, and it will be wrinkly until I'm done working on it. Then I thought it would be fun to do the 2018 Modern Folk Embroidery Sow at the same time as the 2021 Sow, but this one I'm doing on the 26 count ground cloth that I get from Avlea. So, I mean, it's going to be like a blanket, but I like, it's 2/2, and actually the 2021 Sow is 2/2 as well, but just the size of the stitches on this one, and just it's like a little bit more rustic looking, but just I mean, I don't even know if I can, I mean, it'll be like massive. Like we could use it as a curtain in our tiny house probably. So I thought it'd be fun. Why not? We'll just do like, when I start February, I'm not totally done with January on this one. I was going to do that today instead of making a Flosstube video, but I'll finish that one today and then I'll be caught up, and then I can start February for both of those tomorrow. Today is the 31st of January. I did not say that. I don't know when this video will actually be posted, but today is Sunday, January 31st. Let's see, what else am I working on? Oh, so yesterday when I went to Hobby Lobby for the first time, I did pick up the DMC for another Avlea pattern. This is the Cornflower pattern, which is really, really pretty. I put like 5 stitches in it, so it's not really worth showing you, but it is going to be on the ground cloth again. But I don't usually do things with this many colors. So I thought it would be fun. They're more spring colors and flowers. So I will be starting that. And also in my reusable produce bag, my eco bag, another Avlea pattern. This I just put on Instagram. But this is, I guess I should hold this up against something. This is Byzantine Rose, and this is another bit kit. So it's one of those great kits where you get everything you need and you can just start. And we have a rock shop close to us. It's called Bay's Rock Shop. It's been around for like 60 years, and it's husband and wife, and now it's second generation. Their daughter and son-in-law work there. But we, again, we go, I go to sometimes get some supplies I need. And my older son, Tristan, and I were there the other day, and they had these agate, they're top drilled, they're agate, they're really supposed to be like a focal point for a necklace, and you could wire something in between. But again, since I don't usually stitch projects that have too many colors, so I don't really have to keep track of the numbers or the symbols, I just put the 3 flosses on here, and I like the feel of the natural stone, and it doesn't really take up as much room as having a bunch of cards. So that is the Avlea Byzantine Rose bit kit. Oh, and that's on, this is a different fabric that came with this pattern. It's Mikini. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's really nice. I mean, it's 100% cotton. It reminds me more of an even weave, but it's just different. It's also from Greece, like the ground cloth. So that's something fun and different to try. And then on Martin Luther King Day, when we were at the indoor bike park and my son was riding, I started the Stone Street Stitchworks Mlk Sampler, which I love. And my plan was, when I was choosing the colors, to make it a companion piece to their Susan B sampler. So I based the colors on having it go with this one. So I just have maybe halfway, I don't know, but it was fun. And then my husband very kindly made, we were trying to figure out something that was smaller than like paper card floss tags. So he 3D printed me these little acorns, which I think are adorable. And then he realized that like you could put them on a popsicle stick and keep them that way. And again, I only use projects typically that have like 3 or 4 colors. So I'm not sure, we're gonna keep playing with these, but I mean, they do, I like that they're smaller and that I don't have like a thick ring of floss, because I don't use project bags. Actually, this is a basket that I just kind of throw everything in, which I think in some ways is helpful because it's like always staring at me. And so when I walk past it, it's easier to just pick it up and work on it. And then I started the kind words from Not Forgotten Farm. She had posted on Instagram a stitch along, and I just always liked this and thought, why not? Let's start it. So that just needs a little bit more, and I have a really pretty antique button that I want to put on. As far as things that I would like to start in the near future, this is a Carolyn Manning Designs pattern. I got it on 123 Stitch. It's called Egypt, and again, I just really like these pieces that have more of a decorative pattern, like the Mediterranean kind of folk art patterns. So this one I'm excited to start at some point. And as far as some finishes, like I said, most of my finishes I actually made and gave as Christmas gifts. So we'll see if Roman can insert some pictures for me. But I do still have my Hello Dear Sal from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I was actually making this with the intention of giving it to someone, and then I couldn't part with it, so it's still here. Maybe they'll get it someday, or I may just keep it. I'm not sure yet. And then of course I had to do my stitching with the housewives ornaments. Some of these I did make and I did give away, but I had to keep Mrs. Claus with her little pearl earrings because I thought she needed little pearl earrings. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention is that I know Pam and Steph mentioned this in, I think, their last video, and I had gotten these, I don't know, probably the end of last year. Not the beautiful cover that she makes, but the inserts for it, because I wanted to try them out first. So it's As the U Flies on Etsy, and it's the cross stitch journals, again, that Pam and Steph had shown. They're great. This is how I've been tracking everything. But again, this is probably, I mean, I'll say this now and I'll totally, it'll totally change, but this is typically about how many things I might have going until I get something done. Or I'll just keep starting stuff, I'm not sure. So I have like the journal from them, and then I have the cross stitch project one. Oh, and this I have, my mom is a really awesome artist, and my brother had stickers made of her paintings, so I have one of those on here. So I think that's everything that I have to show you right now, except we didn't get to see the cute dog and the cats. I don't think they came around, so maybe we'll get some videos of them. But thank you, and thank you, Roman, for having me do a floss tube today. And you know what? It's like I always tell the boys, you just never know what's going to happen when you wake up in the morning. So there you go. So thanks, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.